Y'all, welcome back to Key's Corner. I wanted to give y'all a hair tutorial, but the gag is I can't do hair. But I decided to do a hair tutorial while getting my hair done because that is something I can't do. Sister girl, I need my hair done. Anyways, I went from looking like this. Shout out to my good sis Mia for getting me right, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this video with me, y'all. She gonna show you how to get into this look. Extended soft crochet locks. Extended soft locks. Extended soft locks crochet. You get it. Get into it.
Hey everybody, my name is Mia. I represent Locks by Mia at Locks by Mia _ on Instagram. Today I'm gonna be doing some extended soft locks. This is the hair you'll need. You'll need 6 to 7 packs or 8 if you're trying to get it really full of the Bobby Boss new locks. And then you'll need 2 to 3 packs of either Jamaican braid, Simpsons, or Marley hair. This is an example of what the client is getting today because she wanted a purple look. So she'll have this hair and that'll be it. And I'll also show you how to extend it. She is getting the extended lock, so that'll be about 32 inches, maybe like lower waist or butt length. Okay. What I'm doing is braiding down her hair. So I'm braiding it in, I would say, small or medium sized boxes. It just depends on the fullness. Normally I give everyone like a medium to medium box size. I preferably use Shine and Jam, the honey extract one. It works pretty well for me, and it works well for natural hair. It doesn't cake up or give you like that flaky look. So what I'm gonna do now, well, before I part her hair in 4s, rubber banding in 4 sections, and then I start by braiding it down. So here, I pretty much just part it. The reason why I'm braiding it down is because when we crochet the lock in before actually wrapping the Marley hair around to give it that soft, natural look, we have to braid it down. Here we go. And I'm just gonna pour it down here. As you can see, I did a nice clean part, and I'm gonna add my jam on the line here, or on the part. And then you can pretty much part, as I stated before, you can pretty much part or make the boxes as big or as small as you want. I normally just give everyone like a medium size. So now I'm gonna start by braiding it. Well, let me go ahead and section this off so it won't be in the way. You can either use a rubber band or braid it down, whichever one you prefer. I'm gonna go ahead and start by braiding it down. And it's just your typical 3-strand braid or plait, whichever one you prefer to do. I try not to braid it too tight on the scalp because when you crochet it in and you actually start wrapping the Marley hair around, it will add extra tension to the scalp, so I try not to make it too tight. And this whole process should only take you about, I would say, if you're a fast braider, 30 to 45 minutes, but if not, at most an hour. It just depends on how fast. Overall, this style may take anywhere between, I'll say, 2 to 3.5 hours, maybe even 4, but on average, I'll finish this style in like 3 hours on average, depending upon how big the person's head is.
Mine a little big, so.
And then also, it just depends on how small or big the person wants to part.
I'm getting right there.
Alright, y'all, so now we got to the front of her hair. We pretty much crocheted them in, well, the extended locks in before we start our wrapping process with the Marley hair. So I have some already pre-extended locks. I normally have the client bring them in. I dropped one. I normally have the client bring them in at least 24 to 48 hours before their appointment, so it gives me time to extend them because the process can take anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour, and you don't want to delay the whole process. If you want to see how to extend the locks here, you'll take 2, 3, or however many locks you want, depending upon how long you want them. She's not getting them that long, just about 32 inches. Just about 32 inches. So you'll take 2 locks. And if you can see here, you'll see this little hoop. It's a little loop, whatever you want to call it. Little opening here. You want to open it as far as you can or as wide as you can. Not too wide because you'll unravel it. And then you want to get the end, which is like this part right here. The end of the lock that looks like it's kind of burnt or just wrapped together. You want to get that part. Just split it in 2. Just far enough to the point where it's just enough for you to wrap it. You're then going to put 1 strand through the hole or through the loop, and then you're going to tie it like you're getting ready to tie a shoe. So you see that? I'm going to undo it. You can put it through the loop. Tie it like you're getting ready to tie your shoe. Make a nice little knot. As you can see here, I have my nice little knot. And then you're just gonna wrap it around. Just wrap it around until you get to the very end, or you can wrap it as far down as you want to until you run out of hair. Once you do that, you have an extended lock as you have right here. And then some people either leave it as is. You can either burn it. Sometimes I burn it so it stays, or just for extra security. Or you can use some nail glue, super glue, whatever you prefer. And you have your extended lock.
My bad, friend. Can you just subscribe for me real quick?
So now we're on the final stage for the soft locks here. So some of them I give it a little distressed look, but for the most part they look natural, as you can see here. As you can see here, it's like the natural look. They're pretty long. So I have my Marley hair here. The type of hair she got is giving like a little ombre look, which is cute. I like it. Coming out good. Here she has T1B in purple. And what I'm gonna do is cut the hair in half. When you cut the hair in half, you actually get more bang for your buck. It actually lasts a little longer, and you pretty much get more hair than using a single strand. especially if the natural hair is not sticking out as much, or especially if it's not as long. You don't have to use as much hair, or you don't have to use one strand. You can cut it in half, and you can have twice as much hair, and it'll also be more affordable for the client, because one hair is kind of on the expensive side, especially if it's like colored hair. So you pretty much want to help the client out by cutting it in half, or pretty much stretching the hair, as you will see me doing the video. So as you can see, her hair is kind of on the short side because it is natural hair, so natural hair tend to frizz up or shrink in a sense. So also what I did here, I tried to make sure I hide the braid as much as possible, so that way when I wrap, I don't have to wrap all the way down. It'll save me time. Also, what I do when I wrap the hair, I try to wrap it like as far as I can away from the client's hair, because when it's time for them to cut their hair out, or they don't no longer want this in their hair, they won't cut their real hair. And I do this because, like, when you have protective styles, most of the time your hair grow and just all type of things happen to your hair. You don't want to cut your hair all the time, because you know when you have your braids in for a long time, or your locks in for a long time, you think your hair done grew all the way to your butt, and then when you cut it out, it's not that long. So this is how much hair I'm using. I actually stretch the hair, because Marley hair is just like if you had natural hair, it shrinks. It's kind of like compact together. So I stretch the hair. I use probably like 2 strands of the hair that's cut in half, or 1.5, whatever, to your likeness or to your thickness. And we're gonna start wrapping. So what I do, you can either start with a half, or you can start at the top. What I do is start at the top because it gives you more hair to work with. Start here, wrap it around, and then I pretty much wrap clockwise. Some people wrap counterclockwise. It's pretty much up to you and what you pretty much decide or like. I pretty much trained myself to wrap counterclockwise. Either way will work. Whatever works for you, whichever way you want to wrap, you'll still get the same result. Some people say that wrapping counterclockwise is a little bit tighter. Some people say wrapping clockwise is a little bit tighter. It's just up to you. I can do them both ways and I'll still get the same result. After we get to the end, as I stated, you want to wrap a little bit further than the client's natural hair, because when they cut it, you don't want them to cut their hair. And you can either burn it. I burn it just for extra security. You don't have to, because if you wrap it tight enough, you will get the same result, but I just burn it just to prevent unraveling. Or you can use nail glue. It's totally up to you. Nail glue to me is a little bit more messier. I don't like that sticky, hard feeling on my hands. So
The best way to take these out too, because last time I was struggling.
yeah, so great question. So when you're taking this out, you pretty much want to cut. I would say cut as close as possible to your natural hair, but still give yourself some room. That's why I try to go as far as I can, but you want to cut as close as possible, like the actual Marley hair, because if you're just cutting the crochet hair, it's going to be very difficult for you to take it out. So when you cut like closer to the Marley hair, it will simply unravel, and then you can just either pull it out or however you prefer to do your hair. Some people cut it out if you got good eyes, like myself. I cut mine out because I can look in the mirror and take a look, and sometimes I just pull it out and it unravels right out. That's the best way to take them out. I would say try to take them out with a person, with someone else that maybe got good eyes. Or you can go back to your stylist. They may help you take them out. It's pretty much up to you on how you want to take them out. But the best way to do it is by trying to cut as close as possible to the Marley hair, because it'll unravel that way, because you'll be closer to the loop. And it won't get tangled up.
Yeah, that's what kept happening.
Yeah, it get tangled up, yeah. Because when you have it in for a long time, it starts locking up. That's all it is, yeah. So this part is probably, maybe I would say maybe one of the quickest methods. Well, maybe the crocheting part may be one of the quickest methods. But this, you can pretty much shoot through this in maybe like an hour or so. We started at 7-ish. We were trying to set up, talk, catch up, everything like that. But we started around 7-ish and it's about to be 10 o'clock. So we probably will be done by, I'll say 10:15-ish. So like 3 hours, like I said in the beginning. It depends on how big her head is. Her head is not that big, but we're shooting the video, so it's taking us a little time. Normally this style will take you like 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours at the max. Like if you're first starting, you're like a beginner, it's gonna take you like 4 hours max. Maybe longer if you want yours nice and neat and you want smaller parts. Here, as you can see, she has kind of like that ombre effect. You have your one being your purple, and then kind of like your magenta, like your purplish, light purple. What's this? I like when I can try new colors and stuff. So it looks really good. So we're just gonna continue doing this for the next few hours. She has about like 8 more left. So they normally take you like 30 seconds to a minute to wrap around. If you want more so that messy look or that more distressed look, you can kind of wrap a little bit looser, and then you'll have some of that, I don't know what to call it, but I guess you can call it, yeah, like a little fuzz. That's what I was exactly like to say. You have that little fuzzy look that most people are starting to like. Either or, it's fine, but I kind of like the more tight look because when they loosen up over time, they still give you like that loose butterfly look. And it just looks more natural when you do it this way that I'm doing. Always want to stretch your hair. And as I said before, like if you cut the hair in half, you only need like 2 of those halves, so like 2 strands, or it just depends on if you want it thicker or smaller. That depends on how much hair you're grab. I normally grab like 2 or 1.5, and you pretty much get the same results, and it ends up being the same size as the actual crochet lock, which is also a good thing. First we're going to get her edges sewn once we finish. We have about 6 more left. also, as y'all can see, we got this done within 3 hours. Started at 7 and we got this done, 3-part process done within 3 hours. As you can see, it's full, it's long. I'm not sure if she'll ask me to trim it, but
I'm gonna let it stay.
yeah. you can pull it up. I'm not gonna pull it up because it may be a little tense. You can pull it up, style it however you want to, but as you can see, we got that natural look. I'm about to go in with my Shine Gem. It's one of our favorite things. Don't really use too much Eco anymore. Gonna use that to go in with her edges, but as you can see, we got a nice look. Parts are clean, parts are nice. Here, there you go, there you have it. I'll zoom in a little more. I'll have her stand and we can pretty much show off the hair, show you the length. I just put enough just for the edges on my hand. Take a little bit. And I got my little edge brush and comb right here. 2-sided. Smooth out everything. And I just start by just putting whatever you decide to use, whether it's edge control, gem, eco style, or whatever you prefer. I just start by putting it on there first. And I just brush the edges as it is. And I just like gem because it's just softer, it's not flaky. It has a strong hold. That one that I have is like extra hold. It's pretty good. It just looks nice. My edges really that good. And then also when it comes to the edges as well, like if the person requests that they want some of their edges out, you can do that, but she just so has to have full edges, so we didn't have to leave any hair out. But it's just pretty much up to you if you want to leave hair out when it comes to the edges. I know sometimes when I try that, it does get caught when you're wrapping, but you can pretty much just take it out if it does. You just would need like a rat tail comb or like the end of your edge control brush, like a little tiny comb, take it back out. But that, like having the edges out requires like a lot of maintenance. You need either a really good edge control, a brush, whatever you prefer. If you are really into edges like that, you'll find something to let it stick. Alrighty. Now we're all done. And as you can see, she got her edges.
You can see what I feel cute.
Yeah. You'll see them when you're done. So yeah. Go into detail.